Hey everybody, I'm Mama Beard. Welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are whipping up part 2 of cooking with some expired food. Now, it's a best by date, not a you're gonna die by date. So, lots of times people are throwing away perfectly good food. So in this video, I'm gonna continue with my part 1. If you missed that video, I'll have it linked below. Go watch that first, because in this one, we are going to be using some of the food that's left over from that. And we continue through a round of dinners that I have made. I want you guys to see how I use it, how I check it, and that most of the time it's perfectly fine. A lot of the food in this video is from 2021. It's currently 2025. 4 years past the best by date, the food's perfectly fine. So stop wasting food and save your money by using food past its best by date. If you're new to the channel, my name is Carolina. Please give me a like, hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed, press that notification bell. It'll let you know every time I post a new video. And if you don't mind, leave me a heart in the comment. It really helps so much. Alright guys, so let's get into it, and I'm going to be showing you how I used the expired past the best by food from my pantry, freezer, and fridge. So let's get to it. Alright guys, for dinner tonight I have this chicken out. We are going to roast it in my Dutch oven. I have just a cut up onion kind of spread out on the bottom. We are going to open this up. Alright, and then one of my subscribers sent me some of these seasonings, the Salafina, that's how I'm calling it. So I'm going to use the garlic powder, the sweet paprika, and the Italian seasoning. Oh, beautiful. Oh, that smells good. I can have this video linked below if you missed when I opened all of these. I got like, I think 25 of them, so quite a bit. There's the paprika. And Italian seasoning, look at that. It's beautiful. Alright. So I am going to use that. I'm also, remember we had some of that bacon left over. I'm going to put bacon in here because we're probably going to use the stock to do something with. So let's kind of smear it all on there, put it on top too, and as it cooks, it'll put the fayette in there. Well, it'll be good. I've never tried it with bacon on top, but let's try it. All right, let's do some paprika. Ooh, that's so pretty. And this is the garlic powder. And then the Italian seasoning. Oh yeah. And let's do some salt and pepper. Alright, and that's all we're doing. So let's put a lid on it, and we're going to put it in a 350 degree oven. Alright, and this is going to be in the oven for probably a good hour and a half, and then we'll crank the oven up and get that skin nice and crispy. Alright guys, it's been in there for an hour and 15 minutes. It's starting to smell good. So we are going to check it. It's looking pretty good. We're going to get as close to the bone as possible without touching it in the breast, because that's where it's the thickest. And we're looking for 165. Right now it's at 155. So we're going to give it, it's got 15 minutes. Let's give it 5 more minutes, and then we're going to crank up the oven and crisp up that skin, and that'll cook it the rest of the way. And then in the back here, I have some pastaroni going, some 4-cheese corkscrew pasta, and then we are going to have just a can of sliced carrots. Alright, let's crank this up to 425. We'll let that timer stay. Oh, look at that, you guys. Nom 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 nom. Now that it is cooked all the way, we're going to get the skin a little crispy, so I'm going to take some of the juices that's on the bottom and kind of drizzle them over it. That'll help give the skin something for the heat to evaporate, so that'll make it nice and crispy. I'm going to put some of the bacon off so it gets time to, so it can hit the skin. Give my pasta a stir, and now it's going back in. Alright, we're going to keep the lid off, let that cook. Let's do 6 minutes and then we'll check it. And then this should be done around the same time. And then up here. And then I had some leftover broccoli, so I put that in there so we have broccoli and carrots that we're having. I'm just gonna season the carrots a little bit because the broccoli already has seasoning. Alright. Bring you back when it's time. Alright guys, let's take out this chicken. Now if it's done, it should come right apart like that. This is kind of a bad angle to see how I'm cutting the chicken, so I got some pictures here to show you that you can carve the legs first and then you can cut out the breast, or there's ways where you do the breast first and you get that removed and then you take the legs and the wings off. But with this being so tender, it kind of just fell apart in pieces, so that's how it is since we're just going to be serving it sliced up anyway. I usually cut the meat off the bones for the family, so I'm going to go ahead and slice this into pieces. You can see how nice and juicy that is. This turned out really good, so I'm just going to keep taking it apart. I got the white meat here, which is the breast and the wings, and then the legs and the thighs is the dark meat, which is my favorite.
What is that? That smells really good.
Does it?
Yeah, what is it?
Chicken. Good. Bacon. Meat. Some of the bottom skin. You can save that for your stock or your dogs. I mean, I could cut in all the portions for you, but honestly, this is just what we do. Just kind of rip it, shred it, and then once it cools down, I'll pick the rest of the meat off of it and we'll make another meal out of it, you know. Look at that piece. Okay, so we're gonna do some meat. I just took some of the juice with all the seasonings and stuff in there and drizzled it over the chicken. And that's what's for dinner. Pretty good, huh? That roasted chicken was so moist and so flavorful, but unfortunately I forgot about the leftovers and I left them out overnight, and I just don't feel comfortable cooking with them after I left them out. So unfortunately I lost a meal there, and it happens to the best of us that we get busy, we forget that we were going to put up dinner and then we never did. So unfortunately, we lost that meal, but that would have been great to make some chicken pot pie with, to use the bones for a broth. You know, I was looking forward to that, so I'm kind of bummed about that. But like I said, it happens. For this next meal, I'm going to be using that hamburger helper that was kind of questionable. We're going to go through it, make sure it's still good, and I'm going to show you how I doctor it up. So let's check it out. Hey everybody, for tonight's dinner we're going to be using the hamburger helper stroganoffs here. These are the ones that are from October of 21. I got these at the food bank recently, so someone probably just had these in their cupboard and never used them and decided to donate them, which is awesome because most of this food is still good. Like, it's just dry pasta. And then the packet, I mean, it's not lumpy, so, and it's sealed. Open it. Oh, making a mess. Let's see how it looks. I see one lump here. Let's see what it is. That's a parsley leaf. All right, good, parsley leaf. We're good. Okay, so that looks fine to me. So we're going to use these. We are going to fluff it up by adding some of our bacon that we're trying to work through here. What a shame I've had to have so much bacon in my meals this week. Oh no, I know, it's such a shame. So we are going to get that cooked up, and then I have this beef patty mix. It has soy flour in it, so I opened it and smelled it. It's a little weird, but hey, we don't complain. We just fill the bellies. All right, so that's all the meat we are going to add at this time, and then once it's cooked, I will bring it back. All right, let's strain this. And see, next time I think I would cook the bacon first and then add the ground beef, because the bacon didn't really have a chance to get crispy. It's fine for this time, but you know, just you always want to see if there's something you can do better for next time. Alright, I'm going to add the seasonings to the meat, and then we'll mix this around. Remember, we confirmed these spots is parsley. I guess I should be prepared for the liquid. I like putting the seasoning first because it helps, one, season the meat, and then two, it makes it less clumpy because it has a chance to incorporate this way. So I need 1.5 cups of hot water. Baby, hot. But really, I mean, any kind of water. It doesn't have to be scorching hot. There you go. Now you can see some of the seasoning coming out, making the water brown color. That's that packet. And then look at that, fully incorporated, no lumps of seasoning. So that's a good way to, if you have trouble with getting your season to dissolve all the way, you know. All right, we have discovered, and by we I mean me, that we're out of milk. So I'm gonna replace it with water. So we're gonna do 2.5 cups water, and then I'm gonna do 2 cups half and half. Sacrificing my half and half for my coffee, but it's worth it. Alright, so that'll work. You could also reconstitute some powdered milk. Mine's like buried in the pantry, so I need to make that a little more accessible so I can use it. Last thing I'm going to do is add a can of corn. It's going to help beef it up a little bit, plus add a little crunch to it. I would say plus it's a veggie, but I know I'm going to get, that's technically a starch in the comments, so just call it what it is. Alright, I'm going to cover this just with my splatter screen. I know it's not much, but it'll help bring it up to temperature. And then, oh wait, I didn't add the noodles. Oh my gosh, that would have been a mistake. Somebody's like, is she going to add them? Is she going to add them? I did. Okay. And I picked up the box. Ooh, it's full. It's alright. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. We'll see. We'll see. Alright. So now this is going to come up to a boil. We'll reduce it to a simmer and cook it for 10 minutes. Wow. You want to bet if it's going to overflow, boil over? Take a bet. Put your stuff down in the comments. Is it going to boil over or is it going to be fine? Let's see. Alright. We turn this off. It's nice and toasty and thick. It'll thicken up too as it cools. I have this cheese. I'm just trying to clear out a bunch of stuff in my fridge, so we'll put all this there cheese in there. Plus I have some Parmesan.
So that's Parmesan, and is the other one American?
Nope, the other one was Colby Jack.
Colby Jack.
Colby
Hey,
Jack.
Colby Jack.
Colby Jack.
Colby Jack. Colby Jack. Colby Jack.
Our dogs' names are Colby and Jack.
Colby Jack. Cheese.
Alright, so we're kind of just mix this in. We'll let this cool a bit, and
It's done.
now it's done.
I love you.
I love you, baby.
I had a fun time.
Good. I'm going to be cooking the last of this bacon. I don't want it to go bad, so I'm just going to get it all cooked up, and then we will cook with it or use it from there. I think with this I'm going to cook some cabbage, some kielbasa, and then I have this garlic bread pull apart kit I think I'm going to bake as well. And we'll have like kielbasa, cabbage, and bread for dinner. And then I also am thinking of making this lemon tart or cookie that I was talking about. So I'll probably do that while the oven is on making this bread. So let's see how I throw it all together. For this next dinner, I'm going to be cutting up a head of cabbage. We're going to cut the core off, and then you can see how there's dirt there in the leaves. So I always like to rinse my cabbage after I cut it. That way I can make sure that I get it all, because sometimes when it's layers like that, it's hard to rinse it when the cabbage is whole. So I like to cut it up in like bite-sized pieces. Cabbage is one of those vegetables like spinach that will get smaller as you cook it. Now, not as much as spinach. Spinach gets pretty small, but cabbage is definitely one of those things that will shrink as you cook it. So you kind of need more than you feel like you need. We are just going to be slicing and dicing this till it's about 1-inch pieces, and then we are going to run it under water in a colander to get it nice and clean. Now that we have this bacon cooked up, I'm going to take it and put it aside, and I'm just going to use the grease and what's left on the bottom of the pan to cook all this cabbage. Like I said, I know it looks like a lot, but it will simmer down and get smaller. So once that's in there, I'm going to put some salt on it. Salt is one of those things that brings out the liquid in vegetables. So if you really want something to start releasing its juices and get smaller, then put some salt on it. And then I'm also going to go ahead and just put some pepper on it while I'm here so I can get it seasoned. And then once that is all in there, we are going to put a lid on it, and that'll kind of help steam it a bit. I let it go for a couple of minutes and then decided to add some of the bacon grease to it, the top of it, so that'll kind of help cook the ones that's on top as well. So now that it's been going for a couple of minutes, I know my pan is a little small for how much cabbage I have, so I'm just kind of wiggling my spatula in there and make little holes and kind of pushing it around to try and get some that's on the bottom moved around a bit. And now while that's cooking, I'm going to cut up a Polish kielbasa. This is one of our favorite sausages. I'm going to do half of it at a time. Now this one, I did it in circles and coins, and then after I was done cutting it in coins, I was like, those are kind of big. I'm gonna go ahead and cut them in half. So then you just make a stack and you cut those in half. But for the next one, it's easier if you cut it in half first. So that's what I did here with the second half of it. I just cut it in half and then you slice it. So that way you don't have to, it takes less time than if you're doing the coins first. So you can see here it's already gone down a little bit. So we're going to come over here, mix it around some more. You can see as it cooks, it gets this nice bright green color. I love cooked cabbage. So we're just going to mix this around a bit, keep it cooking. I'm going to add some seasonings here. This is garlic powder. We're going to sprinkle some of that on there. This is seasoning that a subscriber sent me. I really like it. Thank you so much. And then we're going to add some paprika. I love adding paprika to stuff. It adds good flavor and good color. So we're just going to get that mixed around a bit and keep it going. Now look, you can see this is already like down by half because it's no longer overflowing the pan. I'm going to give it a taste to make sure that I like the seasoning on it. It is good to go. So we're going to take it off the heat, and then we are going to keep using the same pan. I put some more of the bacon grease in there, and we're going to use it to get our kielbasa nice and charred and sizzled. We want to help it release some of that fat that's in it. And now I have these diced potatoes that I'm going to add to it as well. So I'm going to strain them to get as much water out as possible, and then I'm going to dry them to try and get them as dry as possible. So I put them on a paper towel, and then I'm using the paper towel to kind of soak up the edges, and then I grab a second one to rub it on top to really try and get as much water out as possible. That's what's going to help get these canned potatoes nice and crispy. So now that our kielbasa is nice and charred, it's really just on one side and then heated up on the other, but that's fine. I just don't want want like cold centers of fat in there, you know. So now we're using the same pan, putting down more bacon grease, and then we're going to add our potatoes. You want them in a single layer. Like a way to get a good crispy potato is to use lots of fat and to forget about them. So we're going to add some salt and pepper to this. Remember, potatoes love salt. They absorb a lot of it, so you kind of need a little extra salt when you're dealing with potatoes. And then I'm also going to put some of our paprika on there as well, because paprika makes a beautiful colored potato. And then just some more of our garlic powder. That stuff is very fine, so I'm being careful because it's quite powerful. So you're just going to give that a mix. I probably should have left it a little longer, but I didn't want it to burn as well. So I was a little worried because the pan has some caramelizations on the bottom of it, but it actually worked really well. So I got that sizzling and cooking. And this is just one of those extra things that I'm trying to get out of the pantry, get used up. And I like that they're perfect little cubes that make great for cooking, like having it with the kids and stuff. So now we're going to add some bacon into there. So we're going to have bacon and kielbasa in this dish, plus everything's cooked in the bacon grease, so you know it's going to be good. This could use a diced onion though, that would be good in here as well. So I'm going to try and get all of it mixed up: cabbage, potatoes, bacon, kielbasa. Now, if you wonder why my stove is always dirty, it's probably because I use too small of a pan for my dishes, and I'm like, it'll work out, it'll be fine. And it usually does. I just kind of make a mess of things, but that's how you know you're a good cook, if you're a messy one. That's what I say. So this is what we had for dinner. I really liked using all of this stuff up, having it like that with a perfect bite with the kielbasa and the cabbage and the bacon. I hope you guys give this recipe a try. For this meal, we're going simple and just using some of my home canned pasta sauce. I have some of that bacon that we just cooked, and I put it in the fridge, so I'm just going to be adding it to this, and this is kind of going to be our protein in here because we're not adding any other meat. These green beans are from October of 21 and November of 21, so these need to get used up, and as you can see, there's no dent, no bulges. I'm opening it, there's no hiss. Green beans look just fine. So these are 4 years past the best by date, and they're perfectly fine. So please don't be so apprehensive about throwing food away if it's past the best by date. It really, most of the food is just fine. Now here's my home canned pasta sauce I opened up. It's a little clumpy on top, but that's just, it happens like that when you water bath it. Stir it up a bit, it looks fine. I'm going to give it a quick taste just to see if I can taste anything like sharp, vinegary, anything like that, any kind of bad taste, and it tastes just fine. Now I got a can of mushrooms, and then this is garlic bread that I've had on ciabatta bread, and I put it in the freezer. You can see it has some frostbite, but look, it just comes right off. So before you cook this, just kind of pick off as much of the frost as you can, because if that cooks, it would melt and make your bread soggy. So you just want to get that ice off, and those are good to go in the air fryer for a good couple of minutes. And now the bacon is heated up. I'm going to add the green beans to there. You do got to check. You see how that green bean had a stem in it. So make sure you're checking the green beans that all those stems got removed. Now you could also have onion in this as well. It really benefits to have chopped onion in your fridge. Next time I do one of these, I need to prep a day and have just vegetables chopped up, because cooking onion with this bacon really would have elevated the green beans as well. So that's a good tip to have, and something I need to start doing again is just to pre-chop some vegetables so they're easy to use, because I didn't feel like chopping an onion, right? So now I'm just going to pour the pasta sauce in here and get it heated up. We are going to add the mushrooms to this, and that's really the only kind of protein we're having in here. I'm not going to add any meat or anything. I am going to add some Italian seasoning. I think that goes really well, and I don't have the pasta sauce seasoned before I can it. So I know I have to season it afterwards. Adding some of that garlic powder, and then I forgot I had a thing of Italian seasoning opened over there, so I just added a little bit more. So we're just going to heat this up. It's bubbling, turn it off, that's it. I boiled some spaghetti noodles, so I'm just going to kind of mix it in the bowl and make sure it's nice and saucy. And then I also added the green beans to the side of the spaghetti, which the kids have told me they did not like that. They would like it separated, so I might do that next time because, you know, they didn't like it touching. But our garlic bread is ready, and look at that. This is a nice tasty dinner used from all of the past Best By dates in my pantry, fridge, and freezer. Hey everybody, for dinner tonight I'm going to use up this cooked leg meat. So we're going to open this up. I'm going to cut it a bit smaller. I got some tortillas here, some vintage cheddar cheese, as well as some non-vintage regular cheddar cheese here. And then I have this coleslaw mix. It got frozen in the back of the fridge, so I'm going to cook this and we're going to add it as an additional layer to the casserole. And then I got some enchilada sauce. So that's the plan for tonight. So let's get to cooking. All right, let's start with cooking the cabbage. I just have some vegetable shortening here. I'm going to use that as our fat. My cast iron needed a good seasoning too. And then I do have some garlic oil I'll probably put on it too. Alright, let's hit it with a little bit of salt just to kind of get its juices going. Give it a quick stir. Alright, I got some of my infused garlic oil here. I'm going to throw that in there so it's nice and garlicky. Alright, while this is cooking up, let's shred our cheese. Alright, let's get some of this cheese shredded. Look, it fits just in there.
You like that?
Yeah, I did.
What kind is that?
Sharp cheddar.
Oh.
Vintage cheese. Boom.
Very sharp?
Very sharp. Woo! I don't know, guys. That tastes pretty sharp to me. I don't know if that's going to be perfect for this particular casserole. We might have to save that for something else. Maybe like a good cheese sauce or something. Alright, so I got that put away in a Ziploc bag. We might save that for like a cheese sauce or something. But that's not going to work for our chicken enchiladas. So let's just get this regular mild cheddar shredded up. Alright, so there's like half a block. It's good for now. Alright, I turned our cabbage off here. It's smelling garlicky. It's cooked pretty well, so we're going to call that good. Go ahead and dice up our chicken. Looks pretty good. Gonna give it a smell. Oh yeah, it's chicken. Definitely tasted like I barbecued it or something. So let's just give it some dices. Look, here's a tendon. Get that out of there. This would have been good to do before I froze it, but sometimes when you freeze it, you don't know what you're going to use it for. So at least I got it cooked out of my fridge, used up. Alright, I don't think I'm going to use all of this, so I'll probably have some of it in a bowl here. Oh, there's a bunch of skin. We'll take that out. Kind of looks like that Bourbon Street chicken with that char on there. Wish I would have remembered how I cooked them. Could have just been in the oven too. Alright, let's go ahead and start with our layers. I heated these corn tortillas up in the microwave just for like 30 seconds. Definitely need to get used up. some of our veggies. Alright, now I know this is not traditional enchiladas. I know this. You don't gotta tell me that. We're getting creative here. More tortillas, more chicken. More cheese. Alright, and then I got 2 tortillas left, so let's just put those on top. Alright, and here's our random cabbage chicken enchilada casserole. Going in the oven, 375, 30 minutes. Now while that's cooking, I'm gonna trim up this chicken a little more. Got enough here for another meal of some kind. So let's kind of just dice it up, get it ready to go so we don't have to dice it again. There we go, about 2 cups for another meal. And then we have all this cheese, plus I still have this half block that I'm going to grate in there as well. And then we'll get that cheese put away. And I'll bring you back when the casserole is almost done. Alright guys, this is smelling delicious. It's been in for 30 minutes. Look at that. I think that looks pretty good, nice and crispy. Oh yeah, I was worried that it would be a little dry, but I think it'll be fine. So we're gonna let this sit for probably about 10 minutes, let it cool down a bit. And then we'll cut into it and give it a try. Alright, let's get some of this out. And of course, we gotta have the sour cream.
It looks so good.
Let's try a bite.
Is it good?
Oh no, this is awful. You can't have any of this. It's delicious. Alright guys, this is what we're having for dinner. I think it turned out pretty good for kind of a mixture of things in here.
I've tried this before and it's actually delicious.
Yeah.
Why can't I get this stuff back?
That's alright, just take a bite with it. Alright, that's what we had. Let's see what I'm making next. Hey guys, for dinner tonight we are going to make some nachos. I'm going to use the rest of this chicken, which now that I remember it, this was drumsticks from Costco. So that's why I wrote leg meat in there. So I have about 2 cups of chicken left, and then I have this can of diced green chilies. It was Best Buy September of 21, but it looks fine. There's no dents. It's not inflated. So I bet these are just fine. So we're going to use that and make a cheese sauce. I have some slices of American cheese here. I got for clearance at Walmart for $2.91. So we're going to use American cheese plus some of this sharp cheddar that we shredded the other night. We're going to use this for our, I'm going to kind of make like a cheese sauce. So this is going to be in our cheese sauce. And then we have our cheddar cheese that we shredded that we are going to use for the cheese on top of the nachos. And then I also have like some barbecue sauce here I thought might be good drizzled over, and I got some zesty ranch here. Trying to get some stuff out of my fridge as well. So that is the plan. I have some chips there I got for 99 cents today at Super One. So I picked up a bag of those, and we're gonna make some dinner. So let's start with the cheese sauce. Alright, we are going to get this started. I think the first thing I'm going to do is heat up the chicken. And I'll let it heat up in this pan, and then we'll take it out and we'll use the same pan for the cheese sauce. I'll put some butter in there. Alright, so I'm just going to kind of heat up this chicken, get it warmed up a bit, and then we'll make our cheese sauce. Alright, look at that. It's warming up. It's getting good. We didn't really need to char it too much, just kind of heating it up. So I'm going to take it off. I just put it right back in the bowl that it came in. And then let's add the rest of this butter. About 1/4 cup. And then we're also going to add 1/4 cup of flour to that. So you want to kind of keep an eye on how much fat you're doing, because that's the equal amount of flour you're going to add to it. Alright, let's add our 1/4 cup of flour. Mix, mix, mix. Mix, mix. Mix your roux. Mix your roux. Alright, just kind of get it nice and flat. Trying to push out all the flour lumps there. Oh, look at that color. We just want this to cook for about a minute, and then we're going to add milk. I have whole milk here. Any kind of milk will work. Just remember, the lower the fat content in your milk, the higher chance it has of curdling. So the higher fat, less curdle. That's something that I had always wondered about, because I got a lot of 1% milk on WIC, and I would curdle stuff a lot easier, like if I was making hamburger helper, and I didn't understand why that was happening. And then I found out that higher fat equals less curdle. So just so you know. Add in our milk here. Alright, and this is cold milk, so it's going to take a little bit. But we're going to do about, I'd say that was about 3 cups. And then we'll let that come up to a simmer. And then we'll see how it's going. Alright, it's warming up. I switched to a whisk too, to kind of help get the clumps out. It's a little thick, but we want it to get a little thicker before we start adding in our cheese. Oh yeah, look how thick she's getting. Baby getting thick. Alright, now that it's starting to simmer a little bit, let's go ahead and add our cheeses. I'm going to add the cheese before I add the salt and pepper, because this is a very sharp cheddar. So we're going to add that. And then some of this American cheese. You can yell at me that it's not real cheese. I don't care. Tell me all about it in the comments, how much you hate this cheese. Okay. So it's just kind of like making a gravy, but instead we're turning it into a cheese sauce. If this would have been sausage in here, salt, pepper, it would have been a sausage gravy. So it's kind of just having a base of knowing how to make a roux and a simple gravy, and then take it from there. I don't know, I think it needs more cheese. This was falling apart anyway, might as well get rid of that. Right, while that is going, let's open up this can of chilies. We're going to add it to our cheese sauce and make like a chili cheese sauce. So you didn't hear any kind of psh of air or anything when we opened it. It wasn't bulging, wasn't dented. These are, I think, I don't know if they're pickled. Okay, so those look good. Smell fine. Alright, let's add them to our sauce. Alright, I'm going to turn our sauce off too. It's bubbling at me. Now we have a diced chili cheese queso. Well, I guess queso and cheese is the same word, isn't it? Oh, we got a chunk of American in there. American, disperse! Oh, that looks pretty good. It looks a little grainy, but that could have been just because I added the chilies in there. Vinegar canned curdle milk, you know. It's pretty good though. Let's give it a try. Ooh, that's good. I am gonna season it. Salt, pepper. Taste again. That's good. I'm gonna add a little more salt. Kind of doing it a little bit at a time. It's not too much. Yeah, it looks like it has separated a little bit, but that's probably just because of the chilies in there. Woo! That's the stuff. Alright, guys, let's assemble. Nachos, assemble. Put our bed of chips down. We put the chips to bed. Get it? Bed of chips. Bed chips. Yeah. Okay. I think I'm going to cheese sauce first. And then we'll put the chicken on there. So you just let this cook a little more if you want it a little thicker. But remember, it also will thicken up a bit as it cools down. Now our chicken. Alright, and then let's add our cheese. And you can put this in like a broiler in your oven, but I think I'm just going to toss this in Chef Mike for 30 seconds. And he'll finish the job for me. Ooh, alright, so that was a minute in Chef Mike. That's pretty good. Alright, now, to top this off, let's put some of this zesty ranch on it. Then I have some jalapenos. And some sour cream. Oh, that looks good. Hiya! Oh. If you do the hiya, it makes it come off the spoon better. Hiya! See? Look at that. Alright, let's try this bite right here. Look at that. I got chicken, jalapeno, ranch, sour cream. Wow. Oh my gosh, you guys, that's so good. Alright, now I gotta make them for the kids. So I'm gonna make their own little nacho plates for them. And we're having chicken nachos. I might actually put the barbecue sauce in here and make barbecue chicken for them, yeah. Well, if you've made it this far in the video, please make sure to give me a heart in the comments down below. What did you guys think? I think I did pretty good with all of the food that I had. Now, I did promise some desserts and I didn't get around to making them. So I still have like this yellow cake mix. This is from 2018. I mean, I doubt this one. This would be fun to do this next to a current end date one, right? And compare. What do you guys think about that? I also have this pie crust that is from 2021. I was going to use this for my chicken pot pie, but I can do some kind of dessert with that. And then I still have some cookie mix. This is Best By 2022. So this needs to get used up as well. I also have some lemon pudding, some lemon curd. So what do you guys think? Should I do is it expired part 3 desserts? Let me know in the comments below what you think. This might just turn into a whole new series. And you know, I'm kind of fine with that. Well, thanks for coming along and seeing what I whip up with the food that I had on hand in my pantry, fridge, and freezer. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll catch you next time on Mama Beards.